Welcome back to another Excel tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to exponentially smooth any number of periods for any value. Really cool and really useful tool. I'm going to use the example of revenue projections, but you can adjust this to be whatever you need. And the goal here is first to decide on what's the total number of periods that you want to use and what's the total amount that you're looking to attain. So let's say, for example, we want to do 5-year projections, so that's 60 months. And the total revenues that we want over those 60 months cumulatively across all 5 years is, let's say, $300 million. Okay? So the question is, how do we make this $300 million month over month show up so that it is exponentially growing month over month without ever dipping or showing some sort of staircase? So we're actually going to set a goal of 100%. 100%. And what this goal means is that we want 100% of this $300 million to be spread exponentially over 60 months. Now, I'm going to show you how to actually build that out. You can ignore these adjuster and constant boxes for now. The first thing that we're going to do is make a sequence of our number of periods. So to do that, we're going to use the sequence function, type in sequence, select the number of periods. Again, you could do days, minutes, hours, whatever. In this case, I chose months, and then press enter, and it will make a sequence of 60 numbers just based on the number of months that I fed it. And now we're actually going to use the exponential growth function in Excel, which is a really cool function. You just do equals growth. And then all you're going to do is select the first box of the months and then press a hashtag to tell it that you want to do the entire sequence. And it'll show you the exponential growth value of the entire sequence. Now, if you actually select all of this and plot it on a graph, you'll see that we did get an exponential looking graph, right? This is nice and exponential, nice and smooth, no dips. But the problem is, if I come back up to the top here, and I actually sum these raw values, you're going to see that it does not add up to 100%. It adds up to 1,893. And I want to be using 100% of my 300,000, not whatever this is. So we're going to have to adjust these numbers with some constant in order to actually make them each add up to 100% of value. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to actually have to adjust our raw growth values by some constant in order to make them percent. Again, what we're trying to do is have a little percent of this 300 million each month over month growing so that 100% of it grows over the 5 years. So in order to get this constant, we're actually going to need to figure out how we need to adjust this number in order to make a constant. So what we're going to do is put in an adjuster, and you can just use this formula. I'll copy paste it into the description of the video. You just do the sum of the growth of the sequence of your months. So that's C7 in this case. And then in order to get our constant, we're going to divide the 100% divided by this number. That's going to give us our constant. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, take our raw growth value, multiply by our constant, which we're going to do Command T on a Mac to lock in that value. Double click to apply all the way down. I'm going to flash fill without formatting. And then you can see the adjusted growth value. So if I actually sum up all of these, it'll come out to 1. Or 100% if you want to see it like that. So what does this mean? What did I just do here? Well, now we have our 300 million over 5 years. And if you come over to this pre-made table that I made on the right over here, I now know the monthly growth rate, right? The percentage that's going to go into, that's just being pulled from this is the same number. I just converted it into percent. And the monthly projected revenues are just the percent for each month multiplied by the 300 million. And so you can see month over month, the revenues are growing. And we have a revenue projections graph here that is plotting the entire 5 years. You can see nice exponential smooth growth, perfect for building out projections. So this is useful for a lot of different applications. And I hope that you found this to be helpful.